Hello and welcome, I'm Tafara Gadamu. My guest today, Seleshi Demissie, a very familiar face in the Ethiopian musical scene, has just delivered a new album. He says he's keen in maintaining the Ethiopian tradition intact. Is he succeeding? A very warm welcome to the program.
Thank you.
You have a new album just released. It seems to be quite an interesting one. You've organized a concert.
Oh yeah, this is a new album that I've been trying to make it happen, the last 10 years, 15 years since got back from the States, and then I was trying to find a way how I can make it happen. I mean, trying to find musicians, dancers. In the meantime, to find some kind of medium how I can be able to achieve this recording, and it happened successfully, actually.
Do you think it is any different from what you had out for the public in the years past? I mean, there is some kind of continuity, but do you think that it's any different?
Yeah, it is a continuity of my performances in the past, but this one is different. I try to make it different because the way it's set up is to show the public, to show the whole Ethiopian audience, not really only Ethiopians, but to the whole world, that bringing back the Ethiopian culture, the art of krar, the art of singing in Ethiopia, and also the secret of the string instrument, incorporating voice, incorporating sounds with the art of plucking and strumming, which hasn't been done in the past 40-50 years. So I tried to perform with this krar and showing the Ethiopian traditional instrument has a dynamic sound and a dynamic story about the culture. So this time I brought this performance to show the public that Ethiopia has a very proud culture by singing and by playing the krar with Ethiopian other traditional instruments like masanko, kabaro, washint, and other instruments. So this time I organized a couple of different musicians from different theaters in Ethiopia, and then with the dancing groups we have been trying to study well and then to put this in a concert.
But speaking about your new album, you kind of tweaked it, I think, to meet the demands of the current generation of young Ethiopians. Is that what you wanted to do?
Yeah. A few of them that I played in the past, of course, they are in the recording, but most of them are new. The reason why I picked the ones that I've been playing to play it again is they have a lot of messages in them, and people, they might have heard it, but they didn't see it in a kind of a performance, in a kind of a setup that people can come directly to the stage and see the art of the performance. So I wanted to put that again with the new recordings. I think 3 songs might be in the new album that I played in the past, but most of them are new ones, and the new ones are really new, and they have stories. Each one of them have stories, beautiful stories, incorporated with the musical drama. Actually, it's not just the music; it's a musical drama. They've got stories. We put the story with the drama, and then when you see the performance and when you hear the music together, you can really capture the whole essence of that tradition. That's what
you said. Messages. You say culture. I feel that you want to go back in time, and
yeah, the reason why I've been repeating this culture is in the past 34 years, the so-called modern music, when it comes to Ethiopia, most musicians were inspired. I don't know if they are inspired or maybe they probably wanted to play the Western style of music and then everybody was drawn to that Western culture. The way how they sound, the way how they dance, the way how they bring out the music is not typically Ethiopian. It is just a whole bunch of different things mixed together. On the other hand, it's okay, but what I wanted to show is the music and the musical culture in Ethiopia has so much to give, have so much to say, that the young generation didn't get the chance to listen to this.
You think that it's not provided with?
Yes.
Are you saying that Ethiopian artists have not delivered along that line?
Definitely. It's not delivered by people who have the talent, and it's not even delivered by some kind of institutions like music institutions, let's say, or cultural institutions.
But there are a bunch of Ethiopian musicians out there who play traditional music and so on.
There are, but not very much, not many of them. I mean, you see them here and there. You know, that is not really the right way to do it. I think you see it probably at the National Theatre or the Hagar Fikr Theatre, but it's not really spreaded, it's not really provided widely so people can be able to play them. And like in the past, people used to play them in their houses, you know, like fathers play, mothers play, dance and sing, all these kind of things. But this kind of culture has been really put aside, and then like people see televisions from the other countries, you know, they see all this different kinds of music performances, but they don't, it wasn't really provided well so people can be able to get or to capture the whole essence of this Ethiopian traditional music, like the krar, the washin, the kabaros and other things. So I think what I'm trying to do is I've been sitting back and looking at this music, and then I say, okay, the modern music can go like that, but how about the traditional music that we have? And then when I was, you know, out, I've been playing all the time, you know, everywhere in the world. And then I listen to people what they really comment about the Ethiopian music. They really get amazed how the instrument sounds, how the music is really so soothing, so wonderful. And they keep telling me that if we go to Ethiopia, can we find all the kind of traditional instruments? And I said yes, but it's not really provided well. I think I'm trying to make it expand, and we have to expand this through schools, in the communities, in different, you know, youth centers, so they can be able to use them and also to get advantage of it.
Your pieces are loaded with messages. Is that the right way to reach out to the young, for example?
Yes, because the music is not just a song that you listen. I think the song has a lot of messages, like moral messages.
I guess what you're trying to do is instruct. And what I think is probably that's not the way to do it.
Well, that's the way to do it. The way to do it is if you go back and listen, all the traditional music in the past have lots of messages, like love music. In the love music, like in one of the wedding love music, it says that the girl wants to get married, and people want to be on the wedding. They want to be a part of the wedding, and the neighbors say that, hey, why don't you just let your girl married so we can dance and we can play? And then the father listens to them and says, you know, I'm not ready for it. She's not even ready for that. This message goes back and forth. This message goes through rhythms, through music, through the lyrics, And then when you incorporate all those things, you get to really understand and you get really to feel them. Oh, this is really makes sense. So I think this kind of messages are really entertaining. They entertain you. In the meantime, they put some kind of message in your mind. You know? Ayamaru, 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 yaukala dadaru. Ayamaru shati, gorabeet yamahal, ichini banashunanka, adram yiluhal. These are the neighbors. And then he responds to that. Bahar kadaj faso, ganal tashakaf, astanagur bultalunda, sawula fallifa. All the harvest is still out there. I don't even have it in my hands. Why are you so in a rush to let my girl get married? So you have to wait until I have the harvest in my hands. And then she listens to this conversation between her father and the neighbors, and then she says, and then she kept saying, please let me get married, please let me get married. And then he says, and then after he delivered this message, if you are in a hurry, if you are in a rush, you know, you're not going to get really good things, you know, you're going to lose. And then, but I should let you get married. And then he said, and the wedding came, you know. And then this way, all the people during the wedding time, all the neighbors come and they sing this song. But before this, they really have to talk. They really have to find ways and means how that marriage is going to be successful. So this time, the neighbors also can analyze, you know, how the father was really feeling and the girl is feeling, and the whole community, they talk about it, and then they make the wedding happen.
My question is, do people listen? Do people get the messages?
Yeah,
because quite often you stage performances.
Yeah.
You are a performer.
Yeah, I think they do. I think what happened is, you know, the entertaining part, you know, the music is entertaining you. It's not like a rule and regulations, you know, that you direct to someone, but it's just a kind of a play. You know, when you play, you get to know things. You know, I think when you play, like music, has a power to open up your heart, open up your mind. It's not like a rule, you know, hey, don't do this, don't do that. But if you want to say don't do this and don't do that, there is a way how you can make it happen. By entertaining them, by make them open up, and then you let in them, and then they can easily understand what that means. So I think the music has that power.
Unless it is functional, then it doesn't serve a purpose, and there is no need for it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. I think you just don't listen to it for granted, you know? You don't take things for granted. If you take something, you have to really consider it, and you have to really use it.
And that have you succeeded in attracting, particularly the young, to your fold?
Yeah, I think so.
So you communicate well with your audience?
Very much. I give them some
the
rhythms.
young.
Yeah, I give them some rhythms, I give them some melodies, I give them something to do. You know, melodies, harmonies, rhythms, and then the messages in those harmonies, in those melodies, in those rhythms, they come all together in one package, and then I deliver it, and then they get the whole package. You know, you want to sing? Do it. You want to scream? Go ahead. You want to jump? Go ahead. You don't have to have You don't have to structure all these things in a manner that, well, this has to be this has to be this. Probably you can use that one later.
That's why you like doing concerts?
Yeah, this is the way I've been doing it, and this is what I'm going to do now.
What are you going to do?
Now what I'm going to do is...
I assume you're going to be on the road.
I'm going to be on the road, but on the concerts, what we're planning to do is very well structured. First structured in a way, the story has to be structured, the lyrics has to be structured, and then we wanted to gather all these stories, how they compose those songs and what are the lyrics in those songs, and then if there is going to be some kind of dramatic way of playing it, we're going to incorporate that drama into that music, and then we're going to be performing that way, you see. And the second one is, in order people to understand this, we're going to have a workshop everywhere in the schools, in different communities, how to make all these different traditional instruments from the scratch, and then how to play them, how to really go back and find books in the past of the Ethiopian culture. It could be religious, it could be any kind of things. So they can be able to understand, they can be able to get more information about what has happened in the past. So this is going to be leaving a good foundation to the kind of way that we are going to go. So I think this is one way to reach out the community by creating an awareness, delivering all these different traditions from all over Ethiopia. So we are going to work with Ministry of Education, we are going to work with Ministry of Culture, so the culture wouldn't disappear. On the concerts, we are going to really come up with a profound work.
Meaning you're going to travel within Ethiopia and
within Ethiopia and outside of Ethiopia, all over the world. You see, I've been doing this by myself. Well, now I have a big band,
Definitely, but it was, in large measure, was a one-man show, what you were doing in the past. Now, you telling me that you are organizing a band, it wouldn't be as easy.
It wouldn't be as easy, but it is not that difficult either. It wouldn't be easy, but it wouldn't be that difficult either. Even if you're 1,000, it wouldn't be a problem. So it would be challenging, to put all these things together. But once you have the material and once you are confident about what you're doing, and if you show that package to them, it wouldn't be difficult. We're not using our language. We're not using our own selves, to show who we are to the world. So I think, like 40 years ago, the Ethiopian Orchestra were in New York. Do you remember?
That would have been 1969.
Yeah, what was that show? The first...
they were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
Ed Sullivan Show. During the Ed Sullivan Show, it was very hard to bring black people, in that big show. Ed Sullivan Show was one of the greatest shows. But the Ethiopian Orchestra went. And the way they performed was amazingly different. It was amazingly different. Those old men were jumping on one another and holding these big flutes and then singing and dancing with the kabaros and with all that beautiful traditional music. And it was inspiring the whole white people there. So, and then I think what you have to say is we have beautiful music. We have beautiful things to deliver to the whole world. So we need to keep them. We need to really weigh the value of it and use them and give it to the world. Up by the River Nile is one of the big river that feeds the world. ከሰሜን ተራራ አባይ ተወለደ ከናቱ ከጣና አልወለድ ብሎ ባሳር በመከራ ከጣና ከናቱ እንደ ምስራቅ ጮራ ተፍለቅልቆ በራ እኔ ተፍለቅልቆ በራ መረብ ግንባሩ ነው ሞት ከሻው ተከዜችው ነው ዘር መጨበጫው አዋሽ ትብቱን የልጅም ብርቱ መነቃነቂያው ደብራጀቱ አባቱ ደጀን እናቱ ጣና የኢትዮጵያ ልጆች የአፍሪካ ልጆች መጡ እንደገና መጡ እንደገና አባቱ ደጀን አባቱ ደጀን እናቱ ጣና የኢትዮጵያ ልጆች መጡ እንደገና መጡ እንደገና የአፍሪካ ልጆች መጡ እንደገና መጡ እንደገና
Well,
here they come again.
Thank you very much, Seleshi. It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, it's a pleasure having me you too.